going to the point of paying the surveyor, going to the ICAR and all of that, taxes and so on. He's concerned, say, why is it that the person that sold the land cannot share? A couple of questions that maybe Dr. Kaba took some notes that day. But you, the public, you're still going to be given a chance to ask more questions. At most, we're going to take like 20 minutes pause, then we give the panelists a chance to respond. But first, let's hear from Joy. We have a couple of stations relaying this broadcast. Joy is going to tell us those stations and maybe just give us one tip about the forest today. Joy.
Good afternoon, Matthias.
Welcome.
How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you. Welcome.
Fine. So this program is being relayed on the Alternative U Radio that is in the Sosoluba County. We have the Voice of Babulu in the Bobulu City. We have the Liberty Radio that is in the Greenville Sano County, as well as the Radio Halengi that is in the Golahon District. The forest, right? It acts as a natural barrier against some disasters like floods, landslides, and the strong wind, of course. And this is due to the unique structure of the forest. For example, the root system, the vegetation cover those plants that can grow like grass and all of that. And then we have, because of that, the root absorb water easily, especially the excess water, and it highly reduce the rates of flooding. And the root also hold the soil particle together, and that helps in the presence of soil stability, and that mostly prevents a landslide, as well as the tree itself and its branches serve as a shield against strong wind. And how it slows down the speed of the wind and also reduce the impact of the wind on its surrounding.
Joy, I want to agree with you, and I give you one example. In Bapulu County, there's a place in Bapulu where the people got angry. They didn't get angry, but they invited a soothsayer.
Okay.
That because, according to them, they discovered mineral in the area. So this soothsayer came and said, the only way people can get the mineral out here until you chase the witches away. And in order to chase the witches away, you have to cut down the trees, because the witches are using the trees to sit on it. That's where they sit at night. So the people went ahead and cut down the trees. That very day, they experienced, the strongest storm they've ever felt. I'm very sure the reason why they've not felt storm that way because the trees have been protecting them from the storm.
Right.
So most of them, their houses were de-roofed as a result of cutting down the trees. So you don't want to tamper with the trees. Right. So let's join our panelists. Welcome, Dr. Solomon. You're new here. Yeah, you go first. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Just for the record, I'm not new here. I think I've participated on a show.
I think you're new here with me.
Oh, with you.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I meant. That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
All right.
So thank you, Lavani, for the introduction. I think you have said it all. I'm Dr. Mahmoud Solomon, the Commissioner for Land Administration at the Labrador Land Authority.
Yeah, you can carry on with that.
Yeah. So
right.
Just to summarize,
right.
My job entails securing land rights and making sure that land are adequately defined. When we say your land starts from here and end here, it should be that. Irrespective of location, that land should be uniquely defined.
That's what it means by defining land.
Yes.
That is knowing the proper demarcation.
Exactly, the extent of the land. So my department is responsible to do that, irrespective of the category of land.
Okay. All right. So, Dr. Kaba, welcome again.
Well, thank you.
Right.
Once again, I just have to make that correction. I'm Mr. Ali Kaba. I'm just maintaining that.
I know, certainly I'm going to do that because in just a few months, you're going to have it, the doctorate degrees. But it's okay. Let's go with Mr. Kaba. Yeah, well, because I understand. In the area of academia, he's seeing this man has worked so hard to get his doctorate degree. I have not gotten it yet. I don't want to be the one saying I'm doctor already. Yes, so I know you just want to. I understand that. But welcome again, Mr.
That's correct.
Mr.
Well, thank you again for the invitation. I think you did a good job defining my role as an authority. Essentially, I am in charge of policy making, planning, which includes things like dispute resolution. Right.
And the last time you came, you lectured. All right. It was more like a professor entering the classroom and owning his class, owning his student, and trying to discover what their weaknesses are and tapping on those to build on them and say, let me give you the knowledge required to ensure that you come out of here with something.
Right.
Some of the people that called me even after the show, they told me about it, that man provided education. So today, for that reason, we're going to give you people a little time to listen more, all right, to the public. You take the notes, let the people lecture you too. So you come back and maybe you can provide, some further information to whatever information will be provided. All right?
Right.
Is that going to be okay?
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
Right.
Boss, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Mr. Tete,
Oh,
welcome.
Thank you.
This is my man. You guys see my area, the communication. How is it going with you there?
Yeah, it's good. So LA is doing great. Like you said, I'm Kushi Tete. I'm the assistant director for public relations. So I coordinate media activities and make sure that we get the information out to the public. The writing is done. We market the image of the institution of the authority.
Okay.
And that has been going well. We want to do more in 2005. So it has been working for us.
Mhm.
But we need to do more. Public relations, we need to go more out there. Everywhere you go, people think that they got land issues, they're not getting the right information, they do not know the right to land.
Right.
And so we want to do more, and that's what we want to work on.
So there's a little gap in terms of accessibility of the land authority with the people.
No, that's what it has been perceived. But we think more is on the people that really check our website. We are very active on the website. Our social media pages has been running. We had a radio talk show that was running on Freedom FM. We were talking more of the land.
Mhm.
So we think people not just reaching over. We want to do more.
Okay,
Yeah.
certainly. So
2025. We want
right.
to do more.
right, that's a good one. That's an ambitious one. But let's hope that you do more, as you said.
Yeah.
We have 15 minutes after 4:00. With 20 minutes, say it's going to be 35 minutes.
Right.
So 15 minutes can be used to respond to the various questions that the public is going to be asking. So let's get into it now. Call us on those numbers. 0777
Feel free.
0777 905 905 700 905 905 0777 700 905 0555 905 905. Ask a question relating to land issue. All right? And a question. And a question. Don't say maybe this will not make sense. Just ask the question. If it doesn't make sense, you understand. Hello?
Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Mr. Hilton calling from Balanceville.
Hilton from Batnersville. Welcome. Please speak up a bit.
Yeah, I want to ask, how much do you charge for surveying one lot of land?
How much do they charge to survey one lot of land?
It varies from each county to each county, or it has a standard price.
Okay, if it varies from county to county or it has a standard price.
Yeah. Number two,
Number two,
if someone already occupies my land, I want to do a survey. Are they available in other counties?
if someone occupies a land in one of the counties,
Yes.
okay, then what?
I want to do a survey. Are they available in other countries?
Okay, those are the two questions. All right.
Yeah.
They're taking notes. Thank you so much. Let's move on to this other line here. Hello.
Yeah, how are you doing, sir?
Fine, thank you. Please be brief with your question. Your name and where you join us from.
Yeah, I'm Thomas Tuna calling from Gaza.
From Gaza.
Yeah, Gaza. So clinic.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my concern is having to do with people have bought a land from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
After 2 or 3 years, I paid the police cash down, they put them and document gave me.
Mm.
Do they have right to sell that land to somebody if I'm not developing it?
Okay, that's a good question. All right, let's move on to this other person. That double selling, I don't know, maybe that's how they call it. Let's move on to this one. Hello?
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Badini.
Yes, sir, let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Prince Tamayima calling from Pink.
Prince Tambayima, go ahead.
Yeah, how you doing, Dan? My question is, people having land, especially in the urban area where...
People having land in the urban area.
Yeah, where...
Quick question, just a moment, Yuma. Can you just turn headphone to Mr. Ali? Just give it to him. And
Use that.
I can use this. Is
Yes.
there another one there?
No, this one is not working.
Okay, right. So they can use it. Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Let's go ahead. Ask the question.
Yeah, usually people have land to places where really it should be developed, right?
Right.
They don't develop the area, and they don't allow other people to come in, allow to lease or rent and have the area developed. So whether the authority has any, mechanism in place to see how the person can be either compelled either to sell the land or have it developed by another person.
Okay, they bought the land. They bought the land. They've not developed it, and it's just there.
Yeah, especially in places where development is actively taking place.
Okay, all right. Maybe the person, for example, has a front view, for example, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whether the authority can go and encourage the person to sell it, or the authority can sell the person's land? Is that what you want to know?
Yeah, whether the person can be, the authority can get mechanism, whether they are trying to put mechanism in place to see how whether the person can sell it, or whether the person can be encouraged to have it rented or have it leased to another person for development. So the next question.
Okay.
My next question is, who takes the larger liability or responsibility? The person that is selling the land under the pretense of criminal maneuvering, what have you, or the lawyer? Who takes the larger responsibility?
The lawyer?
Yes, the surveyor. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Either the surveyor or the person that is actually selling the land. Who takes the larger responsibility?
Okay.
In terms of the legal proceeding.
Thank you, Yuma. Let's move on to this person. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Let's hear you, sir.
I'm calling from Toronto.
Tama, go ahead.
So I want to find out like the land situation behind the barrier, where they had it, where they were being the estate. So now, if their land was in confusion, how many people will come say they have the land, and some people say they don't have the land. So I live within the area, and I'm hearing that the people have given money to the town people concerning the land. People are buying property behind them. So that's something that always happens. So I want to find out from the land authority if it is legal for people to buy property behind the estate. The estate being near the hospital there, right here in Toronto. Yeah, if it is legal for people to buy property from the people in the town that are claiming the land for them, because after speaking, people are buying property there. And for me, I live there for more than 20 years. And I know I don't want to sit there, land authority city people and face serious problems. So for me, I want to find out from the area it is legal for people to buy property behind the area that the estate.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, good afternoon.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Tuba Morris from Ghana.
From Gatineau. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, my question has to do with the processing of land document. For instance, if you buy the land or you purchase the land, there are special time frame for you to procure the deed.
If there's a special time frame to probate your deed.
Yeah, and then the other one is if that is not, or if it is, then would there any penalty for late appropriation?
Late probating. Okay. Thank you for your contribution. All right. If there's any penalty. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Let's hear you.
Okay, my name is Harrison Chibesinya, and I call you from Accra Racing.
From Conway. Go ahead.
Let me say thanks to studio guests. My question has to do with zoning. If you look around the country, you see a lot of business people build directly on the road, on the town wall. And I want to know from them who is actually responsible for zoning. And also the alley issues. If you go in communities, in my community, we are faced with immense issue of alley. When we go to public where we don't get any response. So I want to find out from them what are they are in charge of zoning or is the public way. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks for your contribution, sir. Let's move on to this other person. Hello. Hello. Okay, this line is frozen. Oh, sorry. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Oh, sorry. I think you were on speaker. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Make a point.
This is Amlai Passaway, calling from Broadview.
Mr. Passaway, go ahead.
I wanted to ask a quick question about if your someone bought land before and they can't locate the land. Can land authority locate it for you if you have the deed?
You bought land, you can't locate it?
How?
Yeah, meaning the person who bought the land, you have your uncle bought land and left the deed with you, and then you can locate the land. You don't know the particular spot.
Oh, I thought I said go say money you bought it land, you can find it again. I won't buy myself.
No.
Okay. No, okay. I think that's a really I'm seeing the doctor is nodding his head, so I'm sure there's an answer to that. Let's move on to this person.
Okay,
Hello? Oh, you have one more. I already put another person on the line, so let you know. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, this is Lorenzo. I'm calling from Douala District 15.
Welcome from Douala.
Thank you very much. Quick two concerns. One has to do with, I got a place in Banana Quebec.
Mm.
And when we were doing the community, the alley for the community,
Mm.
the alley it is intended to pass in the school compound where the church also is.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that property the guy in my place, I haven't touched it yet. With the budget, now everybody's in the car passing through my place. So I don't know how can I prevent or stop from passing through my place because it is actually intended to pass through the school building.
Well, so when you, let me ask you, when you bought the place, there was a survey conducted, and then the surveyor is a licensed surveyor, well experienced, and the person told you that the alley for this particular area is passing through this school building.
Yes, the place laid out the left open there, you know the street, you know the
No, I don't want you to assume. I want you to tell me whether it was actually done that way, the way I mentioned it. Was there a survey conducted?
When I bought a place, nobody using that place. In fact, we were not using that cargo. They were never using it. But because based upon the place has open now, so we were starting using the place. So I've met a community chairman. The chairman told me the alleys will pass in the school. Right?
But the chairman is the one that told you that the alleys will. Well, anyway, let me not waste more time.
Yeah, I'm coming now. So the
Right.
chairman told me, I told you, I said, this is my place. And the place is not a car road. He told me, my brother is there for you. The alleys will pass in the school. Yeah, the alleys will pass in the school. That's what the chairman told me. But now, everybody should have played a car road to pass there.
Okay, I'm asking this question to help my guests so they don't have to struggle to give you the proper answer that you're seeking. Did you do survey for the property in question?
Survey, property, everything.
Okay, all right, thank you.
That's my second question.
All right.
My second question is the customary land. Okay, we got some land, some other land.
Right.
And we formed a committee. The committee was charged with responsibility to resurvey the land in order to know our meets and bounds because there was some level of other time village attached.
Mm-hmm.
And the committee now they went about sharing to survey and they said to get complete. And for some of us, we had some land they have to the heritage. We knew our very meet and bounds within those land. We knew where our grandparents. And family over 3 years, but usually not people to all the community members know their own portion aspect relate to the heritage aspect. Now, but saying that delaying, when they want something, they are using the continuous setting. We have called them a meeting, they want to come up to tell us how long they are going, how far they are going with solving, and how many portion to play their mortgage to solve is one layer.
Okay.
So one of us, so in the study of the heritage, we also want to know our spot. How do we go about solving this portion to get into ourselves?
Okay.
So we do that.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Let's keep the questions brief so that more people can participate. Hello.
Hello, brother.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Omingo Freda calling from Grand Bassa Campus.
Welcome from Grand Bassa.
Yes, I have 2 major concerns.
Please be brief.
Well, one, we have a customary land. And our grandfather bought the land since 1930. Well, my parents was not educated, so they had the belief that the papier was a witchcraft. So he had all the documents in the grave. And when the papier died, he put all the documents. He said nobody should walk in it. They put all the buried the papier with it. Now
they bury the papier with the land document.
The document is know about it. Should walk in the something.
So yes.
And we the grandchildren now want to raise something, so we want to know the step we should follow.
Okay, so that's one, yeah.
Yeah, and the second one, they have the traditional bush there. We went there, we wanted to survey the whole era, they are telling us. So know the traditional bush there, we should divide the land into 2. We need the traditional, the town, because the traditional bush in the town, and we should expect the town. So we say we can do it.
So you want to destroy the traditional bush?
We want to,
No, my man, answer me as a traditional man. So you won't go against, no, you answer me now. You ain't from that place?
I'm from there.
So you won't, I swear. So you want to destroy the traditional bush?
No, we don't want to destroy it. We wouldn't want to take care of it. We don't take their food.
Oh, did you? Okay, it's okay. The land officials will respond to your question.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks for your contribution. Man, first your grandfather is buried with you, and now you won't go to about traditional people. But let's hear from this person. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Welcome.
My name is Adri Kopikoma.
Welcome from where?
From
Go ahead, sir.
why to grow protein one lot is so expensive.
How much?
$175.
Wobbly.
Kakata.
Okay, maybe that location, but they will respond. All right. But have you bought a land in Monrovia?
I bought it in Charlesville.
In Charlesville.
Then to protein in Kakata. Then in March, it's $175 US.
How much did you pay for the survey?
I paid $200.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe that's a very important concern. Thank you, sir. All right. Hello.
Hello, Matthias.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
My name is Nigel. I come from Jason of Imoswala County. Matthias, I want the commission to be address the issue. How long does it take for land dispute officer to go on the site and resurvey? Because I'm going through a kid at Disco Hill. Almost 4 months I've been going to land authority office. Every time I go there, they're telling me I paid survey fee, everything. But they are not come to my attention. How long does it take? I've been going to all of requirements.
Okay. Thank you. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Matthias. Good
Well,
afternoon.
good afternoon, sir. Welcome.
Okay, good afternoon to Joy
Okay.
as well.
Right.
And good afternoon to your studio guest.
Welcome.
Yeah, like George was saying with respect to the contributions of the church to the life we live,
Right.
church is serving as a social, economic, and environmental contributor to our life.
Right.
So, yeah, forest is so much important that it should not be taken for granted.
Okay.
Because besides the forest, our survivability is very slim. That's the fact of life. Let's move on. I have a question to the studio guest.
Okay.
Yeah, this is about the issue of the land that is being discussed. When there is a survey to be conducted or a deed that is being provided to somebody for a land, I believe that there is an indication of maybe alley on that deed with respect to wherever the land starts, the bifurcation, not the bifurcation, but the demarcations and alleys that are being indicated on the deed. I want to know why the surveyors will always have to go and sell the alley along with the land that is being
Well, Mr. Gio, point of correction. Surveyors do not sell land.
Okay.
They do not. They survey. That's the word. That's why they survey land. So somebody must sell, and then somebody must request for their service before they come around.
Yeah, okay, I'm granted.
Okay.
But the surveyors who's supposed to have provided the idea with respect to those things that are the indicator of the ownership of the land,
Right.
they will be there and they will allow the authority of the land to sell the land and will not tell who be the buyer of the land about those things.
Okay. All right. So your question is, how does the land authority deal with such a situation?
Yeah, deal with that.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gia. We're going to end the calls now and take our guests, let them address these concerns. Yes? Let's begin with you, Mr. Ali.
Before.
Yeah.
I think I should just give my part of the question before Mr. Ali proceeds.
Go ahead.
So there are lots of illegal land sales that are ongoing in the country presently, where people sell one land more than 2-3 times.
Right.
So how can a person know or identify an illegal land? What are those processes they can pass through to know that this land has already been sold and avoid buying that land?
Right, that's a very good one. I don't know how many questions you people have, Mr. Ali and Dr. Solomon, but I would like for you people, it's your show now. You take it from me. I'm not doing follow up. You can take it from here. You share the questions and address the people. Anyone, either of you can go first.
Okay, thank you, Matthias.
Right.
This is interesting. This just shows the kind of interest as this when we are discussing land issues.
Okay.
So, for my note, I have like 16 questions, cross-cutting. So, I will start with the ones I can address, and then as I get to the one that concerns Commissioner Taba, I will just turn it over to you.
Right.
So, the first one here, a call of concern about the price of one lot of land and whether it county specific. All right, so what we've been doing in the past is there's common understanding. There was no regulation for it. Common understanding that a lot of land city limit of $150. But at the land authority, since we are responsible for coming or regulation, we are currently working.
I mean, for the sale of the lot.
No, survey.
Okay, survey. Right.
Of
Okay.
the land, a lot of land to be surveyed
Right.
is $150 per lot.
Right.
But it's not unique everywhere. So there are times you see in the urbanized area will be different from city limit, and customary area will be different as well. But what we are doing at the land authority, we're trying to come up with our fee regime, where we'll make everything transparent. All the prices of the different categories of land will be transparent, will be provided to the public. But for now, it's $150 per lot, and that is even also subject to negotiation based on the relationship between the surveyor and the people involved in the transaction. And somebody asked of availability in all counties. As we speak, we're supported by the World Bank and the Swedish government. We have fully functioning offices in 5 counties. We have offices in other counties, but they are not up to the level of the 5. So the 5 are Margibi, Lofa, Bon.
What do you mean?
Fully functional.
Fully functioning office
Yeah.
in the 5
You
counties.
can get the same services there that you can get from headquarters.
So the idea is to replicate what we have at the central office in all the counties.
Okay.
But fundings are scarce, so with the support we have to start with 5. So like our name, that's Margibi, Bon, Nima, Lofa, and Grand Bassa. Yeah. So someone asked, after the purchase, do they have right, after you purchase the land, do they have right to sell it? No. Absolutely no. When the land is sold, no one has right to go and sell it. Once that title is conveyed to another person, nobody has the right to sell that land. Another person asked if the land is broad and someone not developing, I think, can the authority have? All right, so when someone buys a land, there's something called abandonment. When the land is left for a period of 10 years, it can be declared abandoned, but not you individual go and claim someone's land. You see, it's abandoned. It's the government should do that.
Okay.
Not an individual.
And
So-
the government doesn't.
So even the person that sold it, the person
You
cannot
have-
go back now and
You have
say,
no right to do it.
okay.
You have absolutely no right to do it. One title is conveyed. Okay, who takes a larger responsibility event of resale? Okay, somebody asked who takes a larger responsibility. Well, that's something called the criminal conveyance of land, wherein when the transaction happens and the reselling is done, the landowner, the grantee, that is the buyer, and the surveyor, they are all indicted.
Okay.
They have different degree of felony. So once that happens, if that shows up in the code, they can be charged based on the criminal conveyance of law.
But the buyer didn't know that this land had already been sold.
It's his duty to find out. Someone asked another
Yeah,
question.
Joy asked it.
You asked the question.
Yeah, she
So
just
the
asked
land
that.
authority is there, and that's why we are doing some of this engagement. We are here. We tell you how the process is. You got to go to the land authority and find out. Eventually, we're going to come out to see how we can support the open data standard, where we have some of these things available online so that the public can be able to see. So that doesn't exempt you from it.
Okay.
Someone talk about behind the barrier. Is it illegal for someone to buy property? We don't know the extent behind the barrier, but what we do know is there's ongoing
I think
investigation.
there's an estate construction going on there.
Yeah, behind the barrier. We cannot say someone cannot buy land beyond the barrier because we don't know the extent. But there's an investigation there between a family and the AFL. And the AFL have title to that land behind there too. We've been involved with that. So I cannot clearly say you cannot buy land behind the barrier because I don't know the extent of which he's talking about. And then some processing of land document, special time. Okay, yeah, so when a land is surveyed by law, it's supposed to be registered, probated, and registered. And by law, there's a period of 90 days. If that doesn't happen, if you don't solve it, if you don't probate it and register within that time frame, the how they call it, fine on it. You have to pay, but that is determined by the court. You set your money supposed to pay when you come back for probation. Because it's risky having document that is not probated and registered. You know, in our jurisdiction, we have the order deed take precedent.
Okay.
So when that shows up in court, even though you bought it January 1, but you probated in June, somebody who bought January 1 and probated, that deal will be given higher consideration over your.
Wow.
Yes.
That's serious. Can you can you please re-echo that? Because can you please re-echo that? Because it's a very important thing.
It is.
There are many people right now with deeds in their hands. They've surveyed their lands and they have those deeds. They've not taken the next step after survey.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. When a land is surveyed by law, it has to be probated at the court
within a period of 90 days.
90 days, and then registered subsequently. But if you don't do that within that period, there's fine subsequently to be put on that, and that is determined by the court, not us. For land authority, we charge an amount of $25 for probation, for registration, sorry. In the court, we know that it should be 25, but based on processing fee and the technicality difficulty, sometimes that money can go up. So you're supposed to probate and register within that time period. If you don't do that, and there's an issue on such a land, if that case goes to court or come to our dispute session at the land authority, the order deed take precedent. That is somebody who probated and registered their land before you, though you solve it before them, that they will be giving credence. Because the law doesn't know you.
Thank you, Dr. Solomon.
Yeah. So the next one, zoning. You will speak to that, Commissioner Kababa?
Sure.
And other issue.
Yeah, Commissioner Kababa, just bring the mic closer. Right, good.
Well, these are very good questions, actually, and fortunately, Commissioner Solomon is here, and many of the questions were technical during the land administration and what have you. But besides zoning, well, let me just clear the zoning out. As we speak right now, there is a conversation between Public Works and the Land Authority.
Okay.
To kind of think through what the zoning situation should look like. Within the law, the Land Authority is mandated to do national zoning planning.
Okay.
But that also would include things like public facilities, so things like alleys, for example, areas that the Public Works is responsible for. So to have a very good zoning plan, you need to consult with those people that either use land or have some regulatory authority over that. So that's the city governments, for example, commissioners, and indeed Public Works. So we are in our conversation right now. We know that there's a new zoning law that just been submitted to the legislature, but we are in dialogue with Public Works, so we all can kind of put our efforts together to inform that law. So the process is ongoing. You see, many of these things, for example, the previous zoning law was in the 50s, so there has have changed since then. So many of these things are not, the institutions should not be confrontational, but collaborate. But Public Works will have a lot of knowledge and technical knowledge and tools, for example, to inform zoning, to help inform how we go about zoning. So it shouldn't be some confrontational approach.
Right.
So this is good. So luckily, Public Works has agreed, and the authority has agreed. We are talking, and that process is ongoing, and that should be able to inform the new zoning law. In respect to, I just wanted to add this there a little bit. So by land, there are a couple of institutions that are responsible, right? We need to actually get legal authority over that. So the land authority is one, and Dr. Solomon did talk about us, the role we play. Now, for the court is responsible to probate. So things around probating, that's related to the court. Now, what should happen is to build some kind of relationship between the probate court and the land authority. in that the document they are probating, that document should be something that attested by the land authority. So that type of relationship is important. And that actually goes to the initial questions that you asked, whether the burden related to land in sales of land should just be held by the person that's buying. The thing is, the sale of land is actually a private transaction.
Okay.
Right? I have my land and I'm selling my land to you. That's a private transaction. Okay. The different, what should happen is the person that's selling the land should be transparent enough to tell the buyer, I have this land. These are the liabilities that are on the land.
Okay.
So that liabilities can be like, for example, you go rent a place and go buy a house. That house could be owing water and sewer, for example, X amount of money. That liability is not turned over to the new person that buys the land. So I think one way to do this is why for Liberia, where we are right now, we need a lot of institutional cooperation. So we can make sure that when people are having transactions, they have sense of security that transaction is legitimate, it will be recognized and be respected. Right. So that aspect is very, very important. And these are things within my department that we will continue to work on, so we can have more collaborative approach to this. So even if you talk about the forest, for example, that's something that the land authority alone cannot do. The land authority has to do it with the FDA, because the FDA regulates forest use. And I know someone talk about owning customary land and trying to sell it, or people are selling customary land. Yeah. I mean, this thing is, some of these questions, you need more information to be able to provide accurate answers. But I just broadly see it, right? Customary land actually cannot be sold, right? You cannot sell customary land until after 50 years. This is clearly written in the law.
Okay.
You have the rights to lease customary land and do other transactions with customary, including mortgage within the time period that you can mortgage. But for that to happen, there are other things that you have to do. There should be some type of committee that will be able to address the rights of people within that customary land. So all those are things that should happen. And if they do not happen, they're actually breaking the protocol, the rules in respect to customary land. So those are things that should happen now. And this is also in respect to ceding rights. Ceding land, who has the right to sell land? I think this is actually much more clearer, although the practice is confusing.
Okay.
Right? You can only cede something you have right to.
Okay.
Right? It's in a simple sense.
What does ceding mean?
Seed means like if you're selling land. So and ceding means just to give to cut ties or something.
Okay.
Right? You do that in respect to sales of things, the things that you have control, right? You have rights, so that's rights is recognized. So that can only be done by people that already have the rights to begin with, to be able to sell our rights, right? Or exchange our rights. So that is a Liberian citizen, right? That's one of the parameters. The land authority also has the authority to be able to sell them. So that process is clear. What usually happens is at times people buy land without the necessary information. And that is a problem. And these type of shows are meant now to be able to educate people. So the buyer usually may not have all the full information. Similarly, the seller may not have the full information. Those things are problem, right?
Yeah. Mr. Commissioner Kabal, sorry, there's a guy who called from, I think, Gatnersville area. Gatnersville. He said the community chairman told him that when he went to buy the area, there's a particular area was the alley. The alley was passing through the school, and then he did a survey and all of that. But right now, he's seeing that the road is opening because he has not developed his own portion of the land. So the road has been, diverted to his land. How does he, navigate through such a situation? If it is proven that actually the alley is passing through the school building, does it mean that the road will have to be removed from the man's property and then the building is broken down?
Yeah, I think what you get into now is enforcement, right? How to enforce some of the rules that are out there. This is what I said, that the issuing of zoning should be a collaborative effort, right?
Yeah.
With the township commissioners, because they are nearest to the area, so they should be able to provide some guidance to the community, but information also to the land authority, that the land authority can come in to make clarity between what's alley and what's not alley. So we have that responsibility, right? If we do land management planning, that should be able to allocate areas for movement of people. So, but that aside, if someone is building in an alley and it's known to be an alley, it's a responsibility, obviously, for anybody, citizens around that area, to contact the appropriate authority. And that can start with the commissioner itself, but if you're not getting redress from the commissioner, the authority is always available to provide services in that respect.
Okay.
That's our responsibility. And key to this is the level of resources and technical support the land authority needs. These things are not cheap to do.
Right.
They're very expensive. So if you sit at the land authority, you see the level of demand. So it's sometimes the public think that it's selective. So it may not be selective. It's just that the demand is so high
Right.
that you have to prioritize certain ways. Right. So you that are not seeing all that information, you may be aggrieved, and rightfully so. You know, you're a citizen of this service for the country. But just to let the public to understand that the priority, the needs are so high, the demands are so high, that our reaction is then paced according to how we prioritize issues.
Let's go to Baza. You know, there's a guy who called from Baza. His grandfather passed away, and because of the limited knowledge of his family at that time, several years back, they buried his grandfather with all of the land document. Now, even on this very land, there is a traditional butch on the land. They don't have documents. How do they go about, and then people told them orally that your grandfather had, I know of an old man that people say he had 600 acres. I'm like, how did you get 600 acres at that time? What was the measurement done like to get an acre of land? Right. All right, so how do they go about it at this point?
I will have
okay, yeah, so that's an interesting one. One of the things we got to be very clear on, if you don't have title to your land, it makes it difficult for even us to be able to identify and demarcate that land. But if that exists in a customary community, we know in a customary community, boundaries, can be attested by community members. Again, once the community member can attest that yes, that the land belongs to the people, and before going into any survey, we will follow the normal process that involves radio announcement, publication, all that, so that everybody can be aware of this process that such a thing is occurring. If someone has something on the contrary, can come up with it, and then the land authority can take it up. But the particular advice of that person will be to engage the land authority through formal communication, and then we can launch an investigation.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there are there other questions that you didn't
answer?
Yes,
yeah. Okay. I think that there was somebody who was trying to surveyor selling land, and you rightly put it, surveyor don't sell land. Yeah, I think his concern was the surveyor having the technical know-how should be able to advise. It's true.
Right.
And that's one of the challenges we face. Most of our surveyors in the past, prior to 2020, I think, the last time a formal training was held in Liberia was 1986 for surveyor.
For surveyors?
Yes. And that's what brought some on board. Yeah, so most of them were, very old in the profession, and they were lagging behind when it comes to technology. But luckily now, and with support from the international community, we have trained more. We have female surveyors, and we have them deployed in most of the countries. So they are knowledgeable about some of these things. And even though personal feeling can get involved, sentiment can get involved, somebody go astray, but for the most part, we expect that our surveyor will do well. And to even claim that, we have the Surveyor Licensing and Registration Board that has two mandates. One, to license surveyor, and to handle surveyor conduct on the field. So in addition to the land authority, the board is there. Whenever, for grievance redress mechanism, something occurs on the field, you address it to the board, or to the land authority, or direct it to the board, and the board can handle surveyor conduct on the field.
Yeah, here is a very technical question. Jerry Via Senior said, do you have a database for legitimate landowners who have registered with the authority? If not, how do you detect a land with multiple deeds?
Okay, so that's a good one. So when we joined the land authority, I can tell you, almost all our records were manual, hard copy, no database, nothing. So,
God forbid when the building catches fire.
Yeah, forget it. But luckily, there was a project from ICAP project came about with different institutions coming together under one umbrella.
Right.
So the title registry at the archive they did a project and they had some backup at Indiana University.
Okay.
And we were able to retrieve that. So there was some digital record available. But the only thing now was matching them with the attribute information. For example, we have all the scanned D, but we never have which D belong to who. So we had to, we were working with one of our consultants in the project to try to mirror that using AI. And to some extent, like 65% similarity existed. And that process is still ongoing. Luckily, we have an extension of the project, and we'll be looking into that more detail. So what we've done, and to answer this question, I will just give you an illustration of what happening that will bring everything together.
Mm-hmm.
So in the past, when survey is done,
mm-hmm.
the document comes, the surveyor prepares a report,
mm-hmm.
takes it to the court, and the court probates that document.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the court probates that document, the expectation is it comes to the land authority for registration.
Right.
But then at the land authority, say the technical people, so they know whether a deed is actually correct to be registered.
Right.
The court doesn't care about that. So when the document goes to the court and it's probated there, the idea is once they get the land authority, you should register it. But then why if it has technical issue? So that poses a challenge for them many times.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like bringing the judiciary and executive together. The court probates something and then the land authority want to stop it, and then it becomes an issue. There are many times that we have to be called to the court. So what we did, and one of our support the Swedish, we developed a kind of system, to be able to track that. Though we have not fully launched it, we want to launch it effectively next year. Wherein the document from the field comes straight to the land authority for technical verification. Once it's technically verified with a stamp, and that document goes to the court has no business to be bothered about technicality.
Okay.
All the court does is perform its duty in keeping with law.
So in other words, you're saying you do not have a database at the moment yet.
We have one, but it's not
digital.
Yes,
digital
yes. So what we have.
So if someone took a land deed at the moment to register with the land authority, and that land has already been registered, do you have the capacity to identify, to detect that, hey, the land you are registering right now, we already have the information?
So you see, land is broad. That particular category has not been added yet it has not been piloted for us to start using. But what we did, we developed the database in something called modular fashion. So right now we have something called the Digital Scanning Center.
Mm-hmm.
All these are go to the land authority for registration as scanned,
mm-hmm.
and they enter into that system. So the part at which I was explaining about the code, once that technical verification is done, hopefully next year we're supposed to be launching that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Then that part you're discussing will be incorporated into the system. Right now we have it tested, but we are not fully launching it out to the public. But the database exists, and we are doing scanning at our DSC right now at the moment.
Okay. Yeah.
My question, I don't think it has been answered concerning the process to avoid buying illegal lands.
So in passing, we mentioned it. So the land authority is there. So the best advice we can give in the absence of open data where data will be available to the public,
mm-hmm.
the best advice I can give somebody when it comes to land transaction, get the land authority involved. Come there, they have the ability, the technical know-how to be able to investigate, to even look at deed and tell you this deed is correct, this deed is not good. There are so many features on the deed that we can look at and tell that this deed is not good or this deed is good. So it's best at the moment, it's better to pay a visit to the land authority and talk to authorities there who advise you on that.
We'll take at most 30 seconds each to close up, but let me give Mr. Tete 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
The commissioners have done very well providing real rich information to the public.
Mm.
Someone is sitting somewhere and saying, wow, but you guys have to keep this thing. We're not going to keep bringing the authority on our show. This is for a show. You are not paying for the show.
Right.
All right. So how do you keep making the land authority visible to the public as director of communication?
So, Matthias, like I said, we have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
2025, we want to be more visible. We want to get more information out to the public.
Mm-hmm.
So we're working on some other program that we're working with our partner to see if they can help sponsor some of the program like the Forest Hour Hire, we have the Lane Hour, and we're working on that. Also, we want to go in more into jingles.
Okay.
In a rural area, we want to work with the rural radio stations to have jingles to inform our people adequately. So it's not easy. And let me say this. everything the commissioner talked about, like one thing Commissioner Cabal spoke of is funding. Right now we have a very low budgetary support, and that's one thing I want to talk about. Already I want EFBC and say if you have a land authority that even is the center of the government, program, land play a very crucial role. If you talk agriculture, you talk land. So we need support. We have 6 of the 15 countries that are well functional right now for the donor support. And we have the remaining countries that need to be ready functional. Because you cannot have a functional office in Grand Bazaar and when you go to Sano, it's not functional. The demands are everywhere. So we need budgetary support. Calling on the legislators to see reason to increase the land authority budget. The land authority is a very big institution.
And that's a very good plea. Mr. Cabal, please, 30 seconds. How would you like to close?
Again, I think it is very important for your listening audience, but those that are in authority to realize or to understand that if you do not set up a good land system to be able to capture and adjudicate these things so people can get confidence in land, if it is not done in a way that a majority of the citizens feel confidence in it, your own land tenure will not be protected.
Okay.
That's just the reality. Then I guess the second thing, I'm sorry, I need to add is there is a relationship between what we do as an authority and what happens to the forest, or what you call forest to forest.
Absolutely.
It is not an independent thing, they're very, very connected.
Right.
Because what you don't see, most of the land use changes happening outside of Monrovia. You just don't see that.
Yeah, in the forest areas. Yeah, we know that.
A lot of land use changes.
But we're just saying that we're not going to be talking about land authority every day. So you have to start crying your own cry. That's just the point.
And lastly, the land authority is that we need to institutionalize a lot of things and standardize our operation so the public can know what exactly is it that we do.
Right.
I think that's kind of important, how people engage with institutions in this respect.
Thank you, Mr. Cabal. Let's hear you, Dr. Solomon.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
30 seconds, please.
Yeah, thank you. For everyone in Liberia, we do economy, and the fundamental principle of economy like our land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. The first one there is land. Land is the first. That's the reason they made it the first. Because land comes first, and then every other thing follows. And because of that, land should be unambiguously defined. And to unambiguously define land, you need resources, you need the technology, you need capacity, you need so much. And we look at the support to land authority, it's kind of minimal. So we try to use this medium to reach out to national government to see how we can look in a direction to make sure that support are given to the land authority so that we can be able to carry on our mandate as instituted in the Land Authority Act.
Thank you so much, Dr. Solomon. Joy, how would you like to close?
So I noticed that there are a lot of illegal land sales. That was the reason why I asked that question. And one of the things that I sense is that a lot of us, we can buy the land out of excitement. Maybe it's from a good area or it has a lesser price. They'll get super excited and immediately will pay for it. No. The people, they are saying that you should do more checkup, you get involved with the land authority so that you can avoid frustration. It will not come to me.
All right, thank you so much. And they should pay for that, PRO you did.
I know.
Right. But thank you. That's all the time we have for today's edition of the program. Forest Hour OKFM 99.5. This program is brought to you by the Liberia Forest Media Wide with sponsorship from the European Union through the French Development Agency in Sinempo in Finland. My name is Matthias Labindi. I'm always here with my colleague Joy Madiemo. I wish you a wonderful Thursday.